How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the Game Speak episode 17. I am your host, Snoop603. Joining me this week, the usual hosts, Epona, Scanner Barkley, and special guest this week, Gaming with Mac. Mac, go ahead, say hello.
Hello.
See, look at that.
Hello, everyone.
Mac with that golden radio voice. It's lovely. Serenade me, sir. Serenade me with your wonderful deep bass voice.
Yeah, man, his voice is made of lead and satin at the same time. I don't know how.
Oh, that was poetically put.
Lead and satin.
Beautiful.
Okay.
It's amazing.
Lead and satin.
Gaming with Mac and Dolce are up there for like the greatest YouTube voices out there. I gotta put Xbox Ahoy at the top though. That guy's got quite the voice.
Oh, yeah.
Never heard him speak.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think so. I'm gonna go check
think-
him out now.
Yeah, so
he's
you owe it to
23,
yourself to
developed in
hear
the-
him. Yeah, he's got
He's
a
crazy.
really good voice. All right, so before we jump into it, we're gonna go over a couple things. First off, we have the Hardline server. We actually have two servers. What we decided to do was because player counts are capped at 32 players per server. For all the game modes, with the exception of Conquest and TDM, we're not interested in 64 players because it's just a clusterfuck. So we were able to do two things. We were able to just go with a 32-player server instead of what we had originally planned, which is a 52-player server. We thought it'd be 48 players and then 4 slots, 2 for spectator, 2 for hacker. Now we have a 32-player server. So it'd be 15 versus 15, and then there's 2 slots for hacker.
Actually, I think I bumped it to 34 so that we
Okay,
have
so you have
2 hackers,
so-
16
Nice.
and 16.
okay.
And then the rescue crosshair is 14, so there can be 2 specs, 2 hackers, and 5v5, which is the max.
Right.
For
So
those
we've
modes.
got 2 different servers going with to cover pretty much all the good game modes. And what we're going to be really looking for is... Oh, Septic Falcon, what's up, man? We're not going to be looking for him, but what we're going to be looking for is feedback on all the servers and let us know, what you're liking, what you don't like. We're going to tailor this to what everyone else wants. But more importantly, we also want to try and offer something that you're not going to be able to easily find that still people really want. Like, I don't want it to be like Battlefield 4 where fucking everybody and their brother had a 64-player Conquest large map going on. You couldn't find something like Rush, even though Rush wasn't all that great, but it'd be nice to have something different every once in a while. So that'd be the goal with that. But as you can see, Sheikbot has already got the links up. Go ahead and bookmark those. We'll be in there. A good chance I'll be there tomorrow night. I believe Chalk1 from Battlefield Podcast is going to be streaming. We can see if we get him in on there. And it'll be a good time. We've got a bunch of admins that'll be able to run the show there, covering a ton of different time zones. So everything will be run in a nice tip-top shape, and it'll be wonderful. The other thing I want to cover...
So expect random bannings for no reason.
Banned!
See ya.
And of course we have the Patreon. For those that aren't aware, the Patreon is still kicking ass. We're at 31 patrons, $727 a month. We didn't get the final details done for updating it. We've been kind of crazy. I've got what have I got? I've got 8 different reviews that are in the wings waiting that myself and Scanner have been going through and editing and getting them ready to post, which is good. I want this kind of backlog for the website because ideally we can have 2 posts and then the podcast, like 3 things, working our way up to hopefully we can get a consistent 4 things a week for the site. I think it'd be pretty good, but we'll take it what we have for now. Right now we could probably do 2 to 3 things a week, which is definitely a good thing. I lost my train of thought. That's embarrassing. So unprofessional.
8 things.
What?
8 things.
8 things. Right. Oh, so we're going to have new goals. We're working on it. It just kind of finalizing the verbiage and, exactly how the money's going to go. Just an FYI, full transparency on this. I know it seems like we're making a lot of money right now. The website is making a lot of money. We're putting, the vast majority of all this money into the website and into the community.
And taxes.
And taxes. We are making fuck all from all this in the end. So, like right now, we can both each, barely afford a brand new, full-price game a month.
A PC game,
A
but
PC
not a
game.
console game.
Yeah, you're right. Pushing... No. Even at the, what just went through, we can't even afford a fucking brand new console game. But it's fine. We're not in here to, to get rich off this by any means.
I am.
Make some money for all the extra effort of going through it is nice, but yeah, we're definitely not trying to get rich off this thing. Unless, of course, you guys want to get us to 20K a month, and then, yeah, we're going to get rich, and we're going to go full-time and YOLO it. But, so if you guys haven't checked it out yet, we would greatly appreciate it if you would take a look at the Patreon. For those that can pledge, cool. for those that cannot but wish they could, the thought that counts. We appreciate it. That's going to be it for early announcements. We're going to roll into the podcast from here. We actually have a ton of leftover topics to cover from last week. So without further ado, we're going to jump into that. And to Puppy, this guy's so good. He has set a good tone for dropping in topics in there. We covered half of what he had last week, and we still couldn't cover everything. These actually might be left over from episode 15 now I think about it. He hit a lot of them. But at any rate, we'll jump into it. So first one is from Tapuppy. Sony recently lost all data pertaining to a recent contest they held, including who the winners were. Sony has decided to just redo the contest. I'm okay with this. Where I take issue and where I'm curious to hear all your thoughts on is Sony provided absolutely zero information as to how or why the data was lost. Do you think the public deserves to know about things like this, or is that perhaps an over-entitled consumerist attitude? Scanner, why don't you jump off for us?
I believe I originally felt that I don't think you're entitled to know the why unless it was somehow compromising your data. Like if the data is lost, as in like a hard drive fails or something and the data is lost, then it's no harm, no foul. If the data is lost, as in some executive takes their laptop out boozing with them after work and it gets stolen with all your information on it, then yeah, your information is out there and you deserve to be told. But that's it. Like it's completely dependent on the circumstances of the loss and what exactly the loss actually meant. That's my reasonable stance on it, I feel.
It's more than reasonable. I'm in complete agreement with you. In my opinion, I don't think there needs to be anything added. It's that. I had another thought, but I lost it.
That
my
thing.
apologies. Yeah,
What's
man, I gotta
said?
get some more sleep so I can be a little more on point than I have been as of late. What do you think,
Better get
Max?
smarter too somehow.
Yeah, that's not gonna
I
happen.
agree. The scanner is on it today.
See, that's why we let Scanner go first, because pretty much everyone had agreed with him. So we just need to let him cover it, and we're all like, agreed.
Yeah.
I concur.
Next topic.
Do you concur? I concur.
Concur.
All right, next topic. It's from Tapuppy again. Unreal Engine 4 is free, sort of. Regardless, how do you think this could impact the indie game dev scene? Scanner, jump on it again.
Indie dev scene is a weird place because a lot of people like to use Unity, and Unity has become very much the go-to place for indie devs, if only because a lot of indie devs learn their trade from other indie devs. That's the way it works. So somebody goes, oh, how do you make games? And like let's say they asked Mike Bethel, the guy who made Thomas Was Alone, oh, how do you make games? He goes, oh, I Unity, and I found all these cool tutorials, and you can find them here. And then you've got like 20 more people who see that, and they start using Unity. So Unity, I don't see it being usurped when it comes to its current place in indie dev, which is like an incredibly useful multi-purpose engine for any given type of game, from puzzle games, platform games, to whatever. But Unreal being free certainly ups the game a little bit, because you have guys, that previously would have been buying like an Unreal Engine license and stuff, and now they don't have to. And whenever free technology is available to people with passion and creativity, it's always a really good thing for us as consumers, without a doubt. So it's really exciting to have Unreal go free, no subscription, to have Unity 5 pretty much free and very competitive with the bigger engines now, to have Source 2 all but promising freeness. It'll probably be only a matter of time before CryEngine gets to up its game to free or fade into obscurity, largely the way Crytek have done, sadly. And it's awesome. Like, from consumers and dev point of view, it's pretty fantastic.
I think it's definitely good, just as a whole. And it's just like any industry. Anytime you add in more options, more competition, everyone's gonna be fighting for that piece of their pie, and they'll do what they have to remain competitive. So I've only seen like minimal, barely anything for what Unreal Engine 4 is capable of, and from what I've seen, it looks damn good and damn promising. So it's not like it's just something that came on the scene like, oh, okay, well, cool, it's free. It's like, holy fuck, that's really good and that's free.
Yeah, like
So
it's robust.
Yeah,
You know, it's one of the best engines going for the kind of games that I enjoy anyway. And it's robust as fuck, and it's very exciting what it can do now, and it's getting updated all the time, and DX12 hasn't even happened yet. Which is going to be dope.
The what hasn't happened yet?
DirectX 12.
Oh, gotcha.
All those frames!
I couldn't tell what you said because you were speaking leprechaun.
Ha, Bigara. Toy. It's because Paddy's Day is tomorrow, but Jesus,
I forgot about that! I can't believe it's coming up so fast.
Another excuse to get drunk for Jess.
we're gonna drink green beer and play some
Blueberry
Hardline
beer.
tomorrow night.
I still have that blueberry beer left over from PAX, so...
Fucking St. Patrick's Day. You're gonna get some beer, just throw some green dye in there, be like, oh.
Alright, well then maybe I'll pick up some green dye. But yeah, definitely... We should definitely play some Hotwire so I can drink and drive without the consequences.
I do that anyway.
Fucking with you.
You're a terrible person.
Hey, that's not
I
even
do
a
not.
funny
I
joke,
never do.
Stu.
Huh?
Yeah, Snoop, that's not a funny joke.
Yeah, it's not a funny joke, man.
We don't
I'm
endorse
also
that
funny,
here.
mate.
Am I
You gotta be
allowed to make
responsible.
jokes and laugh about it because I got hit by a drunk driver?
No. Sorry, mate, but as a straight white male, I think I know what's best for you. That's the way it works.
No joke though. I did get hit by a drunk driver and totaled my car, and I was not happy about it.
That's too
Yeah, I
much.
remember that story. It's a
Yeah,
sad
I had a cool little Honda Civic that I had in college,
I have a
and
Honda
it was
Civic.
great because it was a 5-speed and it was like the tiniest 4-cylinder you get in that thing. And driving to college, it's all mountains the whole way, just from Keene to my town. Remember that fucking back road drive, all mountains? Even going that way, I was getting 44 miles per gallon in that little Civic, which is phenomenal. And then like the front end was like this big, and then I got hit, and it was like that. Engine block was damn near my lap.
All of a sudden, you had a smart car.
Anywho, getting off topic. Shit. Does anyone else want to add anything to the potential of what Unreal Engine 4 is going to bring to the table?
I
Nay?
think
Pretty.
Mac,
It's the stuff that I've seen so far in early access. It's all. The thing about Unreal is that it's very pretty, like the Cry engine. It's very easy to make something that looks polished and worthwhile. So it'll be interesting to see because I'm so used to seeing so much Unity stuff that more tools on the table that are free to use up is always good. Spice things up a bit.
what those guys said.
That's going to be just all night fucking what they
I have a
said.
lot of original thoughts, guys.
All right, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to make Jess jump off on this one because, and I don't even know what there is to talk about because all Tapuppy wrote for the next topic was Minecraft. That's all he wrote. I think he just wanted us to discuss it at large. People's opinions, where we're at with it, what people think.
I feel like Minecraft is a game that everyone has heard about, no matter, like, if you're, even if you're not even in gaming at all, like, you've heard of Minecraft. Like, my friends that have never played a video game in their entire life, even on their cell phones, have heard of Minecraft. And I feel like if you're kind of a more hardcore, if you're usually into, like, FPS games or RTS games or MMOs or whatever Minecraft isn't, I don't even know, Minecraft is, like, its own thing, you're like, meh, I guess I'll try it out because everybody's talking about it. And then you try it, and you don't understand why, but you just can't stop. You can't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop.
It's like drugs and Legos for grown-ups, even though I have Legos that I love, and I'm a grown-up, technically. But, I don't
bit
know,
of a stretch.
I just, I think Minecraft is for the creatively inclined, especially with the
I agree
fucking
with that
mods.
sentiment. Oh, yeah. Mac, have you ever played it?
I played lots of it in alpha and beta stage, and then I haven't really touched it since. I played it on some consoles. I've seen all the mods, and I can appreciate all the creativity and stuff, but I don't want to get involved in so much. I've seen servers, I mean, you've played it where it's just completely modded out of its brains and it could be anything. I mean, Hunger Games, that kind of allured me, and I don't know. I still haven't jumped back in, partly because I'm just afraid of it, I guess.
Yeah.
It's become such a beast. And it's,
Yeah.
That's
that-
what I. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, I think the server we play on has like over 150 mods on it, Pixel
Yeah.
server.
Yeah, the Feed the Beast mod pack.
Yeah. I think there's a Pokemon mod too. I mean, not on our server, but I'm pretty sure somebody somewhere. I feel like I read about that a few years ago. Pokemon, like you
God.
caught them. They were like out in the world, and you
Gotta catch them all.
Yeah, man. I need it. I need it.
Dude, I gotta stop playing it. Like, I haven't touched DayZ in over 3 weeks because, like, the few nights I get a week where like I could theoretically sit down and play for like 2 to 3 hours uninterrupted, that would normally be my DayZ night, because that's what I feel is what you really need to get a good session in on DayZ. Depending on what you do, if you're just gonna stroll the coast, then you can get away with an hour and have fun. But if you want to really kind of travel and go inland, you need about 2 to 3 hours to make something happen. And even then, it's no guarantee. So instead, I've been playing Minecraft with that. And I will repeat what Jess said. It is definitely for the building inclined. If you've got a real kind of knack for being creative and wanting to create things, yes, and your SpongeBob imagination, then you get lost in it really, really fast. It was funny because Digital Ghost plugged in for the first time. Opponent told me what he had said. He was like, I need to get graph paper and plan when I'm not playing. That's how addicting it got for him.
That's over the line. He told me too that he got his kids to play, but he got them a separate account so that they wouldn't mess up his stuff. So he's got two Minecraft accounts, one for the kids, one for him. I thought that was adorable and hilarious.
That is awesome.
Scanner, what about you? I'm trying to imagine Scanner playing Minecraft. It's kind of a weird.
He was
I
playing
do
with
actually-
me.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
do
do
you?
actually quite
No,
enjoy.
no. Scanner has
With a
his
big smile on
his-
your face.
Scanner has his area, and then T has like pimped it out with everything.
See, that's what T does. She's better at me than me at this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
She's focused, driven, she has good imagination, and she goes in and she just stomps. And then when it comes time to go into the nether and beat the shit out of some fucking ghasts, Scanner shows up with his great big internet balls and gets the job done. We're a perfect team.
Scanner rolls in with his balls in a wheelbarrow. Hang on, I got this.
Yeah, I got it. Don't worry. Slap, slap. But no, like I do. I really enjoy Minecraft. It's just like a lot of other people. I've put in my time. I've built like giant fucking tree houses and underwater pyramids made of glass and all kinds
Those
of
are my
cool
favorite.
shit. And then I got really depressed because one of the dudes that I used to play with, he used to build the most incredible shit, like Skyrim style architecture to his Minecraft builds. And I was just like, oh god, now I feel bad, and I just stopped playing. Because he was really fucking good at it.
Damn.
But it's fun, like, it's fun as hell. It's really enjoyable to see a game. Like, because I'd argue the point that it has been a while since we've had a game with the mainstream profile of a Mario or a Sonic the Hedgehog or something like that. And then we have it again. It's Minecraft, and that's pretty dope.
Yep.
And it was made by one dude at first.
It's
And
amazing
now-
how
So awesome.
He lives in a giant mansion and he pays hookers to box each other.
That's
I
actually,
assume.
it's interesting.
We were talking about that earlier in Hooters TeamSpeak. That's what we decided Notch does with his money. He pays hookers to fight for his entertainment.
so it's like a higher class version of bum fights, but it's hooker
Yeah,
fights.
exactly.
Nice. I can get behind that. Sounds like a worthwhile investment.
I prefer baby
Yeah, we were
fights.
thinking about setting up the first hooker fight YouTube channel and then decided we're just too lazy and afraid of venereal diseases.
Oh man. All right. Before we jump into the next topic, there's actually something I wanted to bring up at the beginning. I had forgotten about, but I just remembered now. And now there's actually a lot of people here. It makes more sense to bring it up. On Saturday night, we did like the first Dawnbreaker gaming community night. Jess wasn't around because she was busy, which is no big deal. But so I spearheaded it.
Wait,
and,
no, I'm sorry. Can we back it up a little bit? She
Do you
was
want me to tell
busy.
everyone what you were doing?
She was busy. That
Were
sounds.
you not busy?
That sounds like I was like,
No.
I'm busy.
No.
My brother got married
if
and I was
wanted to put
in
it
the
that
wedding.
way, I would say
Otherwise,
Jess thought she had other more important things to do or something like that. No, you were busy. You had a thing going on.
my brother got married. You can say it.
She did.
I was
Okay,
in the
fine.
wedding.
Jess was not available because she was trying to get herself all dolled up. It took the entirety of the day to look half decent.
It did.
So she could be in her brother's
It
wedding.
did. Got my face painted on. It was not even my real face.
Would it take like 3 goes to clear the legs?
Yeah, that was all me in the morning. I got a fresh razor out and I just went at it for 20 minutes until I was cut the forest down.
Nice.
The legs were nice.
Pretty gross.
You're welcome. You're
All
welcome.
right, so it's Saturday night we did the first Dawnbreaker Gaming Community Night. We started with Chivalry Medieval Warfare, and I think we had like 10 people in the TeamSpeak. It was fun. We had a ton of fun. I live stream it here on Dawnbreaker Gaming. Everyone was in the Dawnbreaker Game TeamSpeak. We had a blast. We were in there on Chivalry alone, I think, for about 3 hours. And we actually were able to benefit off of Summit G. He started streaming Chivalry while I was doing it. And that put me, I think he like put the game almost front page or something. I don't understand because I forget what the numbers he had for people viewing. And then we started getting residual viewers in. And the stream blew up and everyone was having fun. We got the server. We were easily able to fill the server at that point. It was a couple hours of fun. Then from there, we switched it up so that, kind of keep the night fresh. The majority voted that we play Battlefield 4. We jumped into that. We were going to play Gary's Mod, but by the time like that rolled around, everyone was beat. But tons of fun was had. We're going to be doing this again. Like if I can, I'd like to do like a community thing once every week to week and a half. That would be ideal. But we'll see where
I
it goes from there.
predicted you'd do that. I swear to God, I sat in the fucking TeamSpeak. And I was like, I know he's going to do this every week now.
Dude, it was fun. Like you know me, I'm really big on social gaming. I like playing games with a lot of people, so that was ideal for me. Just had a blast. I can't wait to do it again. But rolling into the next topic from Shu, can rhythm games such as Rock Band and Guitar Hero make a comeback? If yes, what will do it? And if not, why not? Mac, do you want to jump off on that?
So I had a lot of fun with these games, and I didn't stop until Rock Band 2, and I was obsessed, expert, whatever, with my guitar. But the main problem that I had, and I think it affects here, is rock in general, where all the games, I think it was Pop Hero or something, and it was all like Taylor Swift songs and stuff like that, and you're strumming along with your guitar, and it's not even, it's not rock anymore. And rock in general's just completely... The popularity of rock in general's gone down, hasn't it? There's no... In the top charts these days, you don't see... Like, not even Foo Fighters or something like that, which was usually popular. So I don't know. I think people are going to grab it, but the new one that they're doing, but I don't know, maybe nostalgia, maybe for drinking games. I don't think it's going to do as well as it did. Like 5 million copies of Guitar Hero 1 or whatever it was.
It's time for Dubstep Hero.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be like that. And I think there's 2,000 odd songs for Rock Band. So it went far. But I don't know. I think it's going to flop, really, the new one. I don't think the next generation is going to pick up on it. I don't think much of it, to be honest. Which is sad, because I was quite the enthusiast.
That was my shit in college. When we would come back from basketball practice and we would go back to the townhouse, we had Rock Band or Guitar Hero set up on the TV. Oh my god, we would challenge each other. But I saw at PAX there was Amplitude. It was kind of it was a rhythm-ish game. Snoop, I think you saw it and you were like, oh, that looks kind of weird / cool. It was like racing, but also a rhythm game. You had to do the buttons with the music, and it would make you go faster or some shit. I don't know. It looked kind of cool.
I think you were shooting too. You're like a little shit. It was like pew pew pew.
It was cute.
I'm a big fan of stuff like that. What's the one on Steam? It's always on sale, and you can load up your own track, and you have to weave in and out. Oh, doesn't no one know the name? It's like
Is that one the Bit Trip one?
I'm loading up Steam slowly, but I never even thought about what was the. I'm so out of this. The one that taught you how to play guitar. It was more recent, and you could plug
Rocksmith.
your own guitar in. I never actually got the chance to play that, but if I put as much time as I did into becoming expert at Rock Band 2 or whatever, expert mode, if I tried to learn acoustic instead, it might have been a bit more impressive at the end of it all. And I guess
Somebody
it's the
might
fun
have given a
factor.
shit at a house party
Yeah.
instead of just like, oh god, Mac's trying to play fucking Guitar Hero again.
There was
Dude,
go on,
Somebody
sorry.
stop him.
No, I could personally never get into any of these games. Like my friends tried to bring it over, like when it was kind of at the peak of its popularity, and I was like, nah, I just can't do this. And but I am not rhythmically inclined by any means. But every year when we go to PAX, they have a stage set up like just outside the expo floor where people can do Rock Band. They have it set up. People go ham on it. There's a fucking there's always a line of people waiting to play, and then the people in the crowd sometimes get into it depending on the song. But it's always so funny because like it looks like people are in their living room, like they get too comfortable and they're like just sitting there like really sloppy. They're just like, I'm like, dude, you're on a stage in front of a bunch of people. Come on, put in some effort if you're gonna do this. Pretend like it's karaoke night. You're at the bar and you're hammered and you're making regretful decisions. But now you're at PAX with a bunch of nerds just like you. Come on, take advantage of this.
I never should have picked that Shania Twain song.
The game from before was Audio Surf. You basically can choose a song, which you're probably on Spotify now, but you could choose one of your songs, your MP3s, and then just ride a track that was suited to that song. So it's really good. So I enjoy that kind of thing. If amplitude is anything close to that. And also, in Rock Band 2, there was I just wanted to put this out there just to boast. There was an achievement called the Steel Bladder Achievement, and you couldn't pause the game, and you had to play through 84 songs in sequence. And you just couldn't pause it. And if you failed the song, you failed the playlist. So me and my mate just sat for I think it was 7 hours something, and you couldn't pause. So we had like my mum bringing me food and stuff, which is kind of
That's
Now
awesome.
I'm picturing that
Respect.
World of Warcraft episode of South Park. Mom,
yeah. Mom, I need.
Need hot
bathroom,
pockets.
bathroom, mom, bathroom. He just fucking tilts his ass.
Ooh,
and
that's
shits
a
all
big
over the place.
boy. That's what she says or something. I've seen. That's a great
just, like,
episode.
Splatters all
Ooh,
over
what a
his
big
mom.
boy.
Yeah.
Fucking gross.
Yes.
Yeah,
Mac had the original Rock Band shit bucket. Well before it was needed for Battlefield.
Steel Bladder Award.
Oh, all right. I'm gonna push this to the next topic. Look at that, Jess. You're running on top of shit.
I try. I got distracted there for a little bit because Mantis was talking about Sherlock, and I was like, what?
I gotcha.
I put him in his place.
Do you guys want to cover the Fallout 4 topic?
Yeah.
I've never played anything in Fallout, so I have nothing to add to this discussion. But if
ass.
you guys do, I'm all for it.
God, you're so dumb.
Sorry.
I wrote a
Dude.
big thing for it, too.
Okay, then we're gonna cover it.
Okay.
I'm leaving it up to you guys. All right, this one is from Shu again, I assume.
Yes.
Okay, what are you looking forward to Fallout 4 if it gets announced, and are you looking forward for a new Fallout installment or any Bethesda type series like the Elder Scrolls series? What's your favorite Fallout moment if you have one? Jess, you get to jump off on this because you wrote a small book.
I love Bethesda. I don't care how many bugs or features they have in their game. So yes, I am very much looking forward to. They are usually my favorite games of the year that they come out. Skyrim released in 2011, and we haven't had a that whatever I wrote there is not a complete thought. Skyrim released in 2011. That was the last Bethesda game, like open world RPG game that they put out that I'm aware of. We haven't had a Fallout from Bethesda since 2008. So I think we're right around the time, because that's 7 years? Holy shit. Yeah, we're definitely overdue for a Fallout. New Vegas came out in 2010, but that was Obsidian that developed that one. So that's still a long time ago. That's still 5 years. Let's see, things I would like to see in the next Fallout installment. I think the faction system of New Vegas with the Caesar or whatever, and then the oh god, I can't remember all the names of them. The New Republic, something like that. New Vegas had factions, and you could gain favor with one and go against another, and it changed your ending and whatnot. I thought that was kind of cool. I liked that, and it added replayability for me because I love playing them over and over again. So I think that would be awesome if the factions were kept and kind of further developed in Fallout 4. But also, so factions from New Vegas, but the interesting characters and the events and locations from Fallout 3, because I think that was kind of something missing from New Vegas a little bit. The character of the game just kind of being unique and interesting. Like the places that you could go and people you could meet. I liked Fallout 3's. I remember finding Little Lamplight with it was like this little community of children who had formed their own society, and then when they became adults, they were like kicked out into the wasteland. I thought that was really interesting. So I don't know. I think if they melded those two things together, that would make for a really cool Fallout 4. I like Fallout. I got excited. Have you guys played it? Snoop hasn't played it. He doesn't play anything.
I've seen gameplay. It looked good, but no, I'm actually kind of glad we've changed. We've turned the chapter in the life of Snoop, and no longer a pure YouTube content creator / well, more than anything, a Battlefield content creator. Now I get to play all the things and not feel guilty about it.
I'm proud of you.
I'll get around to it.
Them.
Huh?
You never play them. Anything.
You
I
still
know
have to
that.
play
That's what I'm
Deus Ex.
saying. Because I allowed myself to get too tied up into the Battlefield franchise for the past several years.
Over the last 4 months. Over the last 4 months, you've probably played fucking Daisy, Robot Roller Derby, Disco Dodgeball, and Battlefield.
Yeah.
Chivalry.
And Metal Gear Solid and Chivalry.
That's
more than I've played. I've played
I'd play
Minecraft
that
and
in a
Daisy.
day.
Yeah, but I've only got like a 2 to 3 hour window max per day to play.
Sell your son.
To me! Sell him to me!
Just sell him on eBay.
No! eBay.
I'll steal
eBay.
You get a good...
No!
Get a good
Sociopath! I've
price.
also been playing Sega Bass Fishing. So take that.
Get the fuck out of
him.
here.
Whatever.
You play that and you cry because it's not actual.
Oh!
I do.
Fallout or Elder Scrolls
Wait
game
for
that has
some-
co-op. Did you see that in the chat? Oh my god, that'd be amazing. Like, that's what Elder Scrolls Online should have been, but then it was shit.
And then it was ass. Snoov, you'll probably end up wanting to play the new Fallout 4 because rumors abound that it's set in Boston. And I think Snoov is a lot like me, where if there's like a geographical hook to a game, he's probably going to play it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's got me even more interested, and I'm already interested.
So that's going to be interesting. Like I'm a big fan of Fallouts, but I'm also that old bastard who's bitter that Fallouts used to be an awesome isometric thing, and now they're like an FPS thing.
Oh, I prefer FPS, so...
And I still kind of hold it, because there is no more beautiful angle in the world than isometric as far as I'm concerned. When it comes to gaming, perusing your enemies, doesn't matter. Isometric, baby. And so like my favorite Fallout memories are all like the entire first time I played Fallout 1. Because that was just mind-blowing awesome for young Scanner. It was cool. But like Fallout 4 is going to be the dog's balls, because games are like sweet now compared to like when Fallout 3 came out. Yeah, games were cool and Fallout 3 was cool and stuff, but there's just been such a step up in how game worlds feel now, like when they're actually on screen. If that makes any sense, like things seem more real, more complete. To see that combined with the Fallout history and some of the peaks that Fallout hit, that's going to be incredible. Like that's going to be legitimate game of the decade possibility right there. It's going to be dope.
I have nothing to add.
So excited.
Mac looks confused.
I'm just, don't know, lost. But yeah, I played Fallout 3 like 6 times through. This was before they actually changed the ending so that you don't have to kill yourself or something. I vaguely remember it. New Vegas, I played on the hardest difficulty once, and then that was it. But I don't know. I can't really suggest anything to Bethesda because what they bring, what they deliver to me is just so always awesome. Even when it's more linear, so Dishonored or Wolfenstein, I've actually got, but I haven't played yet. So they're always impressing me. So I'd like to see just more of the craziness, really. Because I'm just trying to remember. There's this there's a weapon called, it fires mini nukes, and there was like a secret version of this weapon, and it fired 8 at once. I don't know if anyone remembers the name. Is Jess muted?
I know what you're talking about.
No,
Yeah, I
she's-
was muting because I was typing.
I thought you were just good at miming, but you're okay.
I
like-
am good at miming. Oh!
It's like
Now I'm gonna Google it.
but like that could take 4 hours. Like I could go on the hunt for this gun, and there's just so much to do. Skyrim, I've got 80 hours played, and I think I got lost doing side quests.
Yeah.
And I prefer the Fallout universe to like an apocalyptic landscape. To maybe I'm just depressed like that, but it's definitely something I prefer. And the first thing I did, you were saying about geography, I went to the White House. The first thing I did was go to the White House, and there was what were they called? Oh, the super mutants were everywhere, so I had no weapons or anything. So it's just awesome seeing places. And random tangent, Assassin's Creed, as much as I'm not going to pick it up, the fact that the screenshot leaked and it's in London, that's like, I need to explore that world, even though I'm going to be falling through the ground every 5 minutes or whatever. So it's I think that's a big thing. Location and familiarity.
Yeah, I'm pumped. I like Boston. I think it's really... I mean, for the U.S. has a lot of history because we're pretty young. You guys have all that cool old shit.
Yeah, so say there are
Yeah.
pubs.
Boston and Virginia is like where we go to see old shit. It's only like 200 years.
There's a
Here
pub
in
somewhere
Europe, we have a proud history of war and colonialism and strife. It's great. Oh, famine, the Black Plague, rabies. What else do we... Well, I guess Gutenberg did the whole printing press thing, which didn't suck a dick for a minute. So, that's alright.
Oh shit, what was the name of the show? There's a show in the U.S. called Three Sheets with Zane Lamprey. Fucking phenomenal drinking show. And he went to a pub somewhere in Ireland that any year now, so I know somewhere in the 2000 teens, it's going to be celebrating its 400th year in operation. There's fucking pubs that are older than our goddamn country. They're twice as old as our country.
Hells
Pretty damn
yeah.
impressive. I wanted to go there. It'd be like, there must be like probably 30 people that go to this pub for this 400th anniversary. It'd be great.
I want to go to there.
All right. I'm going to jump into the next one. I think you guys have thoroughly put that one to rest. Next topic's from Sniper Kriz. What is the most innovative or standout game mechanic you've seen or used in a game, and why did you enjoy it so much? Raise your hand. Who wants to take that one first? I have...
Well, I couldn't really think of anything in recent memory. I thought back in the day, like 15 years ago, when Max Payne came out, and that was like when they had the slow motion bullet time and like this super awesome dark story. I thought that was the shit. I could not get enough of slow motion bullet time. I would just like jump in slow motion and like shoot the wall just to see how cool it looked. That was all I had though.
GTA 3. I think people forget how much of a fucking landmark moment that GTA 3 actually was in gaming. Like, previous to this, GTA was, top down. Little cartoon people like, boogie, 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 look at me going around running people over and shooting people and blah, blah, blah. And then GTA 3 came out. And it was third person, open world, fucking... That shit was intense when you first started playing it. It was like, wow, this is crazy. Like, it's GTA, but it's this. And then you realize it's not just that. It was huge for a game at the time. It was monumentally massive. It was a complete interactive world that you could walk around in and see and fly in and fucking just GTA 3 as a whole. Like the mechanic of the game is probably one of the most innovative things I've ever seen because of all the different strands of gaming that it combined on such an enormous scale. From narrative to mechanics to world building was astounding. I'll never forget the first time I played that game. It was like a giant kick in the fucking brain. It was amazing. So there you go. Cheat answer. The entirety of GTA 3.
Well, in that case, I'm going to say Super Mario 64 because it kind of goes
You
along the
suck.
same lines where all of a
Yes!
sudden it goes, it's no more left-right bullshit. We're opening this world up. We're going 3D and going every motherfucking direction you want.
That's a good one.
That was like earth-shattering as a kid. You know, like, I mean, we're all kind of at that age. Well, I don't, Mac, how old are you?
23.
23.
Close enough.
Okay, so close
What a
enough. Yeah.
whippersnapper.
All grew up at that point where, you know, we're old enough and cognizant enough of understanding, you know, the changes that were going on inside the game industry is not the game industry, but the progressions made inside of gaming. And that jump to Nintendo 64 was just like, oh my fucking god, you can go anywhere but left and right. Couldn't wrap my head around it
yeah.
as a kid. I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. You mean I can go sideways?
There
can go
still has not been an overworld that I have loved as much as Super Mario 64's. Not since. Not prior. Love it!
Super Mario 64 was like that just mind-boggling progression. Changed everything. Changed complete landscape of gaming.
JFO had a good one. The lock-on mechanic in Ocarina of Time. And Dark Jerry.
Is that more Dragon Ball stuff?
Oh,
I just
Metal
like
Gear
trolling you, I'm
Solid.
sorry.
It's the worst.
When you could make people follow you by tapping on walls.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Totally
was
forgot about
fucking
that.
dope. That was
Right.
dope.
What was
Like,
that?
Manipulating off path what AI wanted to do was pretty sweet.
You can put
In
like
Metal Gear-
dirty
Metal
magazines.
Gear, when you could like knock on the wall, dunk, 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 and they'd be like, "What's that? Oh shit!"
And then they see footprints, and they go, footprints! And they,
Yeah.
and they walk over there.
The footprints, I remembered. The knock on the wall thing, I totally forgot about.
Bunk, bunk, bunk. What's
Yeah.
that?
Oh,
Who's that?
Man,
go ahead,
man,
keep talking. I got something. I gotta
dropping the
get
ball
off my
on
phone.
topics.
Did you really?
For recent examples of innovation or standout game mechanics, I know it's difficult these days with everything copying each other, but I think I wanted to say Titanfall, not about the Titans, but just the wall running and just how fluid it felt. Because up till that point, I think Crysis was the closest I'd gotten.
Brink tried
To
it, but it failed.
Oh,
Horribly.
of course, yeah. Yeah.
They failed.
But that, yeah, that was I never played it, so
I did it.
I'm
It was
not-
shit.
I think I wanted to. It just kind of died in the first week, and I never. Yeah,
Sorry.
but
Just had to throw that in there. I
Oh,
didn't
sorry.
play much of
I can-
Titanfall either.
nice.
That scared the shit out of me every time it went off.
I know. I'm sorry,
Facts.
but it's the greatest like text alert you could possibly have ever.
No.
It's wonderful.
No.
Yeah.
I have
Your
several
little-
text alerts.
Your one-up one is pretty good.
Thank you.
How sweet is it going to be in the future when you can have a hat that creates like holograms over your head and everybody's got little fucking red exclamation marks and stuff? It would be dope.
Was there anything else?
Nah, there's been no other innovation in games other than that.
Well, somebody said destruction in Bad Company.
Where?
Eh.
I thought
Well,
that
no,
was...
I would take it a step back from there. This is actually something I forgot to mention. Red Faction, I think, had it before Bad Company.
Oh,
Yeah, and you could
Yeah.
break everything forever.
Yeah, and that. Me and my
Forget
friend used
it,
to play
then.
just like 1v1 Red Faction on PS2. I think is what it was on. And it was, I forget what the name of the map was, but it was really small, and it was basically just like this teeny tiny arena, like down in a rock pit. And they had like three-tiered concrete structures on either side. It was just all open ground in the middle. And we'd get the rocket launchers, and we'd go to this like same side, and just blast a hole into the wall and then try and carve tunnels to each other. Because the destruction was that good. It was a lot of fun. That's all we ever did playing that game, was just see what kind of weird shit we could make with carving tunnels and stuff from destructing it. That was always fun.
Recent ones would be like the Nemesis system in Shadow of Mordor.
Yeah.
Sir
That's a good
Bumbles
one.
just said that. Yeah.
That
Good
added
chat.
a lot to that game. It was pretty cool. Like when you cut a guy in the face, and then you come back across him later, and he's got like a scar and a big bandage on his face, and he's pissed at you for fucking him up. It's awesome.
And the way that was promised to us, it was in a kind of Peter Molyneux kind of way, like Fable, where they tell us what it's going to be, and like you're actually going to build Nemesis, and you're going to come across enemies that have killed you, and they'll say stuff, and it sounded very, you couldn't really believe it. And then when you actually play the game, it's there. You have this rivalry. You want to go back and take him down, and it really works. And I think Monolith killed it with Shadow of Mordor. It was
Yeah.
The best Assassin's Creed game this year.
right, yeah. And I actually went back and played Black Flag like a week after playing Shadow of Mordor, and it's so much better in fluidity and everything. So it was a shame, Unity. I was kind of looking forward to the co-op element of Unity, but it didn't deliver.
I'll wait till like I can pick Unity up on sale for $10 and then get 4 copies for people I know, and we'll play it. But until then, maybe.
Raising hands.
Yeah, you can have one.
Yay!
You great big Jess.
Oh fuck! What was I gonna say? Oh no! Oh,
Nobody cares.
I have Shadow of Mordor. I bought it. It was on sale for like $26. I forget where the hell I got it. It's probably Green Man Gaming. It was like 2 months after it came out, and it dropped hard in price. I was like, I gotta buy it. I still haven't played it yet, but that's the next game I plan on making time for, because I love the idea of it. I love Lord of the Rings and all that wonderfulness. I love the style that the game is in. Again, too many good things heard about it to avoid it for too much longer. It's at the top of my next to play list. Oh shit, Jess, what did he do?
Guy whose name was Gas the Jews.
Oh.
That's not appropriate.
Yeah, no. No. Not at all. Okay.
Gas 20 gas it gnomes thing.
Oh shit, almost missed that one. Alright, moving on to the next topic. And actually, this one's pretty good because it actually has to do with our recent travels. This is Jackalope, you can insert any date in there yet, and that would be appropriate and accurate.
And about any game.
And about pretty much any game, yeah. If it's not Call of Duty, Battlefield, Madden, or like 5 indie games, or Need for Speed, I probably haven't played it.
Basically, in 17 more episodes, we're going to be struggling hard to carry Snoov, as we'll have exhausted every tale of gaming that he actually has.
No, I'm stepping my game up. I'm going to get more games in there. Trust me.
Don't
I
believe
promise.
you.
I'm making this happen. All
Prove
right,
it.
next topic from Graphax. What are people's thoughts on the development and growth of the gaming conferences? Is it worth having all the smaller ones, such as PAX, insert direction here, and the European variants, even if they're not big companies showing their wares? I'll actually take this one.
Small.
It's kind of hard to tell if the number of shows are becoming detrimental or not. This year for PAX East, it was definitely a down year. And I want, because of that one experience, the only experience I have with gaming show or conventions, I want to say, yeah, the number of conventions is having a detrimental impact, but it's a one sample size, so I can't say for sure. But it was definitely a down year. There was a shit ton of indie games there this year. The indie booth was huge, and that was really cool. As far as like the big developers, it was a very weak showing. The good news is that the expo as a whole blew up. When I first went in 2011, that was the second or third year it had been there. And I want to say it was the second year. It was the first year at the BCEC. And for no one that's been there, like the BCEC is basically like 3 football fields. The place is fucking huge. And the first year they were there, they had almost the entirety of it in the first third. Like every third, there's a big divider where they can like put out walls that collapse in. And then there's a big overhang, a catwalk that goes across, so you don't have to walk all the fuck the way around. First year, almost everything fit in that first third. And the only thing that barely spilled into the second room was like the tiniest indie booth I've seen ever, and then the queue line. So the floor doesn't open until 10, but the building opens at 8, so people can get there 2 hours early and wait in line so they can be the first ones on the floor. You also get like free swag bag and stuff for waiting in line, but you get first dibs on getting in line for the games through the day, and that's going to be your shortest wait time probably of the entire weekend. But this year it took up the entirety of it. Like it went all the way to the back, and there was a chunk towards that last third that was still left open for the queue line. But the BYOC, the bring your own computer thing, which I think is still really fucking weird, that took up the whole back section. And then there was actually 2 stages where they were doing like MLG shit all weekend too, or ESL, I forget what it was. But they had live gaming competitions going on, which was really cool. Like it was definitely expanding. But even though the footprint had grown, overall what was there was definitely a down year. Talking to our friend Esco Blades, who's the community manager for Assassin's Creed Montreal, he said that because of the timing of it, and Ubisoft said, no, we're not going to PAX East this year. It was bad timing. They wanted to save everything they had for E3. It was also during the same weekend as GDC, which is, I don't really know a whole lot about GDC, but as I understand it, is certainly bigger than PAX East. That's usually a big one that companies want to show up for. So based on the one thing I go to and the results of it due to the timing, yeah, I want to say that the number of expos that are out there are down. The thing I don't know is how much does it cost for a company to show up there? I'm assuming that they have to pay per square foot. It's not like they lay out the floor ahead of time and say, okay, buy a square, because no one's going to be able to plan their booth around that. I assume people build their booth and they buy the square footage they need to cover their booth. But does anyone even know what it costs to go to an expo?
Nah.
No.
I wonder if Eric, Disco Dodgeball would.
He would know for just the indie side, obviously. Mac, you let me down. I really thought you were going to know that.
I imagine it goes both ways, doesn't it? The bigger... I've seen very small expos that suddenly have Ubisoft there, and it's like, okay. So I imagine Ubisoft didn't have to pay to place their thing there. It's like one of the main attractions. But I don't know. Indie studios usually have similar sized setups, at each expo. So I don't know if I don't know how it's priced out, but I don't think it's I don't think you can choose how big your setup is. Basically, I think you just say, okay, we'll attend. Here's the amount of money, and then the rest goes. The bigger areas go to the bigger publishers. That's generally how it's been for the ones in the UK.
Yeah, that's what we've seen at PAX East too. I'm willing to bet that the indie stuff, it kind of works like a supermarket. So at least how it works at a supermarket here in the US. For end caps, where you're on the outside, you've got the most visibility, right. You're probably going to pay more. But if you're in the middle, kind of buried, you probably get a premium price for doing that.
Drink it.
Just water. No more beer for me. I quit.
Hey, I like that water.
Although I did say I was going to drink beer tomorrow, but I'm probably not going to do that.
I might drink beer tomorrow if I don't hang out with my friends who are in town from the city.
All right. I really don't think anyone has anything else to add to that topic. So I'm going to jump us into the next one from Shu again. If you could improve any game and re-release it for the current gen, what would it be? For example, mine would be Brink, with it having so much promise and it just shitting itself on launch day. So still salty about wasting my $60. I added this one because this is from this week's topic, and I added it. I didn't get to look at it until about 15 minutes before we started. And it's a fantastic question, and nothing came to mind directly, and that kind of does and doesn't surprise me, given how little games I've played. But there's got to be something that I played that I thought fell well short of the mark, that had a lot of potential, that should have been a lot better.
Was
what I said last gen.
Okay.
Actually would count.
No, yeah.
I think that counts.
Re-release it for current gen.
I think it's a very time splitters. I had a lot of fun just playing my brother, so one-on-one multiplayer for hours. It must have been 100+ hours. So having an online portion for that, Time Splitters 2 or 3, obviously Time Splitters is no more. But I don't know if anyone ever played those. It was kind of awesome.
They were awesome.
Yeah. So I know there's James Bond games where, I mean, obviously GoldenEye, where you just play four players, and it was like the best thing ever. So they have tried to remake that, remaster it, whatever, but it kind of failed again.
My answer to this question is always the same, and it will always and forever be Red Dead Redemption, and that's it.
I think he was more talking along the lines of like a game that was a shitty release that we would want.
Nah,
to
he
give
just
a second
gave an
chance.
example of a shitty release.
Well, no, he said if you can improve any game and re-release it re-release it.
Yeah,
That's the
Red
big-
Dead
can you
Redemption.
improve? What could you improve on that though? I haven't played it because I didn't have the Wii for it.
I played it.
The Wii?
Wasn't no.
The
Red Dead Redemption was like
Youngstar Games.
PS3 and
Sorry.
Oh my
God,
god.
Snoop.
Oh,
God,
dear.
your ignorance.
Yeah, it's all starting to fall apart now. The whole fucking facade of Snoov the gamer crumbles.
That's it.
Facade. What facade? There was never a facade.
Crumbles.
So
Was
which
that thing
part
on
of-
vibrate?
Red Dead.
You
Red Dead
guys
Redemption.
can listen to my ringtones and like them.
Like,
Yeah.
think of the interesting things that happened in Red Dead Redemption, like the quests that were super interesting, and now make those quests kind of fall into line with the Nemesis system.
Right.
So whether you like, it's not just a case of you have to now succeed in the quest to progress the story, but you can actually fail, and you can fail in a very specific way that's kind of only within your game, and it can affect and already like one of the better game worlds out there. That'd be dope as hell. That'd be so amazing. Like you're supposed to go save somebody, and instead you accidentally shoot them. And it doesn't just go, you failed, they're dead. But now that guy is like incredibly pissed at you because you shot his brother rather than saved him. And 3/4 of the way into the game, he shows up with a load of badasses to kill you, or stuff like that. Just like there's a lot you could do. You could take the bones of what Red Dead Redemption great, and you could pack on so much more meat. It'd be astounding. A game is never so good that it cannot be improved upon via, more and better. That's just the way games are.
Sorry, I'm shaming myself in the chat.
You suck, mate.
I do. I don't know why I thought that was on Wii only. Oh well. Mistakes were made. Ignorance
You're
is
bad.
made obvious.
We
I
still
am
love
bad.
you. It's all right.
Getting back on topic, if I had to pick a game, Dave Mirra Freestyle BMX. There wasn't that much that had to be improved about it because the second one, Freestyle BMX 2, was pretty fucking good. Like it was relatively realistic. Like all the tricks you could do are what people are doing now, with some rare exceptions. But actually, no. You know what? Now I take it back. What people are doing at current day today, you could do all the same tricks in Dave Mirra. And the only thing that's weird is the height that you could go on, like jumps or off half pipe or whatever. In Dave Mirra, it was a little off. But like, if you could take just the overall flow and mechanics of that, and keep that, because that was core. Because like there was the Matt Hoffman thing, but it was so fucking corny and like too arcadey and cartoonish that it lost that almost realism that Dave Mirra had. So you slap in that overall feel with those mechanics into something shiny and new, dude. I would gladly pay 2 times the full price for a game like that, and that's not an exaggeration. I lost so many fucking hours in that game when I was a kid, especially during the winter, because that's all I cared about was riding BMX. And see, me and my friends would hang out all winter, and that's all we'd fucking play every single day for hours on end. I really, really wish I knew what my total hours was on that game, because I would, without a doubt, say it was well over 1,000 hours. And I haven't even come close to touching 500 hours on anything else since then.
Battlefield 3?
Battlefield 3 maybe hit 500 hours total.
Oh.
Maybe.
I thought I had like 1,000 hours in Battlefield 3. I'm not sure though.
I could probably go back and check. But
I would say what game I would want to improve and re-release, but they already did it because it's Deus Ex Human Revolution and Eidos, whatever the fuck their name is, Montreal. I love them. they're so awesome. They went back and they did the director's cut. And if you already had Deus Ex Human Revolution, I think it was $5 to get the director's cut, and they redid the boss fights. So, to give a little backstory, Deus Ex was released in 2001, and it's one of the quintessential PC gaming experiences of its time. It's quite legendary. And then there was a sequel, Invisible War. Didn't go over so great. I really liked it, but it kind of veered off the purebred path of PC. And then, come 2011, Deus Ex Human Revolution comes out, which is kind of a prequel to Deus Ex. And they put a lot of effort into it. Square Enix and Eidos Montreal put a lot of effort into it. Nixxes did the PC port. It's one of the only PC games in recent memory that I thought felt like a real PC game, and that they did really well. But then there were the boss fights, and Deus Ex is all about the role-playing aspect, choosing how you want to play the game. You want to be stealthy, you want to be a hacker, you want to just go in and fuck people up and be a, soldier. And then they had the boss fights, and if you had played the game as, the stealthy guy who snuck around and did everything, or as the hacker who just hacked their way through security and whatnot and didn't really fight people, you had to kill the bosses. You had to go and fight them one-on-one with your weapons, and you're kind of fucked if you didn't play that way initially. So they went back through. That was really the only complaint, the major complaint that people had. They went back through in the director's cut, and they redid the boss fights so that you had different options of how to play them. And they included all the DLC in the director's cut. So this is just me splooging about how awesome Deus Ex Human Revolution is. But I thought it was appropriate for this topic, and I wanted to talk about it. And also, Snooze still hasn't played it, even though I gifted it to him years ago. So.
I was just looking at it, because someone in this... Who said it? I missed it. Oh, Graphax, guessing Stu hasn't played Deus Ex, and I was like, I own it, does that count? So I went and looked. You purchased it for me December 21st, 2012, and I still haven't played it.
Wow.
You're so bad. I'm done. This is my last game speak. I cannot live this fucking lie anymore. It's this simple. It's either me or Snoop. It's either the actual gamer, the guy who plays the fucking games and has a thing to say in them, or fucking old man haven't played it yet, or don't know what console it was out on Snoop. Make your fucking choice, chat. This isn't even a joke. Stop laughing.
I am a shameful person.
Hey, first vote for Scanner. I'm liking it.
Everyone's gonna vote for Scanner. I fucking vote for Scanner. Choice between the two.
Snoop's out of here. Just cover up his camera, please.
Okay.
Don't do it.
There's been a coup. Look out, Putin. I'm coming for you next.
Nah, Putin's dead. Haven't you heard? Hasn't been seen since the 5th.
Mate. There's pictures of him today driving around in a car with totally not a corpse.
Dude, I was on Reddit and I saw there was an Ask Reddit so what's your wildest theory on where Putin is? And have you ever seen that little meme picture where it's a bear standing up in a river? It's like, hey, Putin, and it shows Putin. He's like, what? And the bear's like, go fuck yourself. And it shows a picture of Putin fucking swimming, and it shows the bear in full sprint in the water, feeling oh fuck. I wanted to take that and then put one more picture of just a bloodied stump with a bear eating it or something, and be like, that's what happened. It's still one of my favorite random comics I've come across.
I'd fight Putin, Jackalope. Have no fear, mate.
You really put up a fucking RIP image over me.
You're welcome.
Shit. Alright, well, alright, you guys have fun taking over. I'm out. Bye.
See you, nerd.
Salty.
He can't even jokingly hang up because his ego won't allow him to not be on the podcast for even a second. I can't do it.
Goddammit.
I might be terrible at this, but I'm still living off past glory, so I'm not leaving now.
I'm like, oh god, I've seen that DirecTV commercial with Rob Lowe. I'm high school, Plinkton High School Rob Lowe.
Yes! Yeah, those are all weird, but
they're all terrible.
Some of them are good.
Has Rob Lowe been forgiven in America? Is that
I feel like he was on Parks and Rec, so I
his
forgive
whole
him
like shady past thing.
for anything. I don't know what he did.
Obviously, wasn't there like a sexual incident with a minor
I did not hear of
somewhere in
such things.
Pablo's life?
Probably.
No idea.
I mean, I liked him in The West Wing. That's what surprised me when I saw him in The West Wing. I'm like, oh wow, Rob Lowe.
All right. Fucking A, Mike. He already tweeted that. All right, we've actually covered all the topics we had. It was a down week for topics this week. I didn't push it too hard for new topics because I knew we had a lot left over. But honestly, I'm kind of surprised how quickly we ripped through that. Mac, you and I were discussing Hardline earlier, and
We were.
you have determined the extent to which we can cover it.
We can talk
So-
about multiplayer. We can talk about the prologue and episode 1 of the campaign, if you want to.
I'll let
Talk
you
about
start off. Seeing as how we're on the eve, we are less than 3 hours to go before it's officially released and we can start playing. I think it's appropriate at this point. We can start jumping in on the Hardline discussion train. I refuse to call
The
it a hype
server
train.
again?
We can discuss the server real quick before we get back into it. For those that are here that weren't here at the beginning, we do have not only one but 2 Hardline servers. We hit the goal for Patreon to get a game server, and the majority vote was for Hardline. We pre-ordered it because it was stupid cheap to do so at the time.
It's on
We jumped-
sale for 25% off right now.
Yep.
Still.
So if you guys are looking at getting one, and because you don't want to play with us, I mean, one, that's dumb because you really want to play with us on our server. So I'm not even going to tell you the other option. So we have 2 servers. We originally started with one. We are going to have it like 54 players, and that was going to be 48 player rounds. But then realized you can only do a max of 32 players unless you do Conquest or TDM, and we're not interested in doing 64 player bullshit. So we got 2 servers. One is a 32 player server with extra slots for hacker, and that's going to have pretty much all the game modes. And then we have another server that is strictly for rescue and what was the other one?
Shit, Crosshair.
Thank you.
Because they only allow 10.
Right. So we'll have 2 servers. We'll have one that covers lots of players, and then the one that's the more tactical one. But everything can still be tactical. You can play it how you want, but we prefer people play the objective. That's why it says PTFO in the fucking server title. So make sure you guys bookmark that shit, and you can get in and play. And we'll probably see you guys there tomorrow night. But Mac, let's
Yes.
discuss Hardline in depth.
If we
gonna let
talk
you
about single player first, then shall we? So
All right.
prologue in episode 1. We'll talk about that because the significance of this Battlefield campaign is that it's the makers of Dead Space, so it kind of is elevated a bit more than the rest. So I played it with an
potential.
open mind. Yeah, the potential, and they've gone all out for the TV show, like the cop style. I mean, I backed out of the game, and it says next time on Hardline, and it shows you what's actually going to happen, and I thought that was cool. And it stays true to everything in a cop show. So there's cheesy lines that are delivered well. Like it's good voice acting by the actual people in those types of shows.
Yep.
In the prologue in episode 1, it was very sneaky, and it was very divide and conquer, and with your squad, not your squad, your partner, and it was interesting to play, and my actual progress got wiped in a corruption, so I haven't played much further than that, to be honest. So I don't know how it lines up for the rest, but up until this point, it's I think it's worth a go. There's a lot of character kind of forced development of the characters. Like you'll be in a car journey for a good 2 minutes, just getting to know this lady, and there's also a bit later on where you get to know people. So it's kind of this forced. They want you to relate to these characters, and it's much more of a story than at the moment. It's more the story than the gameplay feel. When it goes to the gameplay, I feel like I'm just sneaking. There hasn't been much variety yet. So I don't know if you've thought the same or different, Snoov.
Yeah, I like the fact that you can play it. You have a variety in how you want to play it, and the game isn't unique in that aspect. And I actually got a full-blown review that hopefully members of the team here were able to review for me, so we can get it up tomorrow. Fuckers. We're gonna do it anyway.
I would have
What I
had
liked
time
about it
to do it
is
if
that-
you had told me the podcast was going to be in an hour and a half, which was then in an hour.
I did send it to you early today. I'm sorry.
So that's your fault. It's your fault. I'm a busy man. I've got a fleet of ships to buy in Elite Dangerous.
I'm sorry.
I'm incredibly busy.
Mac, I put something in the Skype chat for you to read, please, too. Before I go too far into it. But what I liked about it is the fact that you can play it pretty much one of 3 different ways. You can either completely stealth it. You don't need to fucking touch a single person, with the exception of the opening scene. And then from that point, that you can either completely stealth it. You don't have to touch anybody. You can go through almost that entire game, with the exception of where cutscenes are, that force you to do something. And you could just not touch or go near or alert a single baddie. And then there are other times where you can go through, and if you want, you can do silent takedowns on people. And you can do that to every single person, which is cool because you get bonus points for doing such. So there's an added incentive for that. Or you can go through guns blazing and fucking straight up murder everybody and just shoot your way through the entirety of the game. Again, it's not unique in that aspect, but that was one of the things that stood out to me that I really enjoyed about the game.
What I will say is that the health, I was on the second, not even the recommended difficulty, I was the one below that. And you die in 4 shots. So if you do go for the guns blazing approach, there was a lot of, you had to take cover. It wasn't as, back in the day, I'd just run through on casual just to experience the story of a game. But on this one, I'm trying to do the same, but I'm just dying straight away. So stealth seems to be encouraged. And they definitely want you to use this freeze mechanic where, you're arresting people rather than just shooting them straight off in the head. Although, that does happen. So anyway, multiplayer. Should we go on to multiplayer? Because that's kind of what everyone is interested in.
If you want, I didn't get a chance to do it. The only thing I only had the beta experience of the multiplayer, unfortunately. Cool. That's all I had time for. I was up till fucking 1:30 last night after I finished the campaign, and I was writing up my review for everything.
Yeah. I don't really want to say too much about it. I'd prefer people to play and get a feel for it. It's they brought a few things back from the first beta, which surprised me. So look out for like armored vehicles and stuff like this that are making a return for some reason. So they're definitely trying again to spice things up. I don't think they're finished tweaking. I'm sure there'll be more stuff there. I did play on a map called The Block, which is this generation, Battlefield generation's Metro or lockers. And it was crazy. Joy. It was 64 Conquest Large on just the, I don't even know, the crate part of canals. So it was just a very tight map. You don't want to, it was just madness. So there is that if you want it. And then there's obviously Conquest Large on the bigger maps that I can't recall. Dust Bowl and stuff like that. So I think there's a variety of game types, like the competitive stuff. I think the competitive stuff is going to be the actual main thing that people are going to be drawn towards that are hardcore Battlefielders, because I know that they're kind of annoyed at the route that Hardline's taken. But I think Rescue and Crosshair really offers something a bit different, which I haven't yet played because there's no servers for that yet.
Now there is.
Yeah.
Now there is.
Our server.
That's probably what I'll end up jumping into first, if anything, tomorrow night. Get people in on that because I want to know how those play. I've still been looking for a good replacement, a suitable replacement to Search and Destroy from Call of Duty days. And there's the potential for this to kind of fit that role, that niche role that I've been looking for in a game. So we'll see how it goes.
That is Scanner, for the record.
No, it was Jess. You can tell because she tried to imply it was me. If it was me, I'd have said, guys, I'm typing and fuck you if you don't like it.
Shit. Full of it.
Nope. I'm the most honest guy on YouTube.
You're the...
I'm not, no comment. No. Not
I paid myself to make that statement.
Jess, you pre-ordered. Well, you bought it like 2 days ago. And it's installed.
Yes.
I know Scanner did.
Yep. VPN the shit out of it too, and I was playing it today. So if you're in the UK and you're not playing it, it's because you're stupid.
We've got to wait. We've got to wait officially until Friday. Friday. People are waiting on consoles. Unreal. Unreal.
That does suck. Iron Dog, never just a man with a beard. No, Jackalope, I know I'm not going to play CS:GO. There's different mechanics to it that I'm not really a huge fan of. I tried it. Not for me. Not my style.
He used to aim down sight.
Pretty much. I'm a scrub. I need it. I could probably get used to it. I haven't been bothered to even really kind of get back into it. But yeah, Frosty, Rush is basically S&D for me. I love Rush in Battlefield 3, and I could tolerate it at times in Battlefield 4, but nobody else could, so I never got to play it really that much.
Rush in 4 was so bad, though. Like, compared to 3. 3 Rush was really fun, and it was so nicely balanced, and it seemed to be like a core consideration of map design in a lot of the maps, which was nice. Like, I armed thousands of MCOMs on BF3 Rush. Like, thousands of the fucking things. And I'd be amazed if I armed 10 on 4 before it broke me, and I'm like, I can't play Rush anymore. It's a sad day, but sayonara.
It was pretty bad.
So Heist really kind of hit that spot for me though on Hardline. In both betas, I really enjoyed the Heist variants. That shit is fun to me.
Oh, I got confused. Heist is you break into the vault, you get 2 bags of cash, you got to bring them out to the chopper.
Yeah, exactly.
I was thinking, is it Blood Money? No, what's the fucking one where there's
Blood Money is the one where the both teams are trying to get the cash from the pile. Yeah, that's Blood Money.
Okay. I got confused for a second, which is which. I do enjoy Heist. Heist is good. It's not looking forward to... I'm looking forward to playing it, just anything on that fucking map we had to play during the beta, because, while I mean, it was fun, and I understand we only had the one map, that one map just got really fucking boring. So I hope that wasn't, like, their premier map to play it on, because if it is, I'm going to be very disappointed. But I'll reserve judgment until I actually get to play it. I'm starting to get amped to play it tomorrow night because there are going to be a lot of people around. We're going to hop into it. It's going to be something new. We'll see if it actually lives up to expectations. And when I say expectations, I have fucking 0 going into it. I learned my lesson from Battlefield 4. But, yeah, all right. Anyway.
I'm trying to have less expectations for all games, though. I'm trying to separate myself from the hype machine.
Yep.
Like, if I allow myself to get naturally hyped about something, then I know that excitement is real. Like,
yes.
I'm looking forward to Hardline, but I'm not hyped. And I wasn't hyped. I was mildly excited because it's a new game. And that's it. It elicited the same level of excitement as any release would. But there's so many games coming out where, even though I've avoided the PR, I really am fucking amped. So it's interesting to see what's going to happen with Hardline now. I want it to be enjoyable. I don't need, like, truthfully, and people are going to hate me for saying this, I don't even need it to be good. Like, I don't need Hardline to be good. I just need it to be fun.
Yep. I agree with you there.
It. And if it can do that, I'm happy.
Speaking about hype, do you see that the closed alpha signups opened up a couple days ago for, was it the Siege?
Yeah, signed up.
Oh, Rainbow Six.
I saw it. Oh, it was Friday, and I was on my way to a tax appointment after work, and it was broken on mobile. I tried for the whole fucking 40-minute ride there to try and sign up for it, and I could not do it, and I've forgotten to do it since then. I'm actually gonna write myself a note to sign up for that shit as soon as they're done, because if I can get in on that, I'm gonna be so stoked. Not that they're probably gonna give fuck all opinion on what I have to say for feedback, but there's hope. I like to be hopeful about such a thing. I got my pen, I got my paper, I'm doing this. I just bumped the shit in my mic, I'm sorry.
I never hear it when you say you bump your mic.
Really? Mm-hmm. That's a good thing.
How about when I bump mine?
Yeah.
Heard that.
Bonk.
I punched it. I didn't really bump. Oh god, it fell off.
Claw of yours impacts.
Oh my god. Right. All right, I think that's it. That's a good point to jump off. We've run out of topics. We've covered a couple extra things. Before I go, just one last another reminder about the Patreon for Dawnbreaker Gaming. If you guys could please take a moment to check it out. If you haven't yet, and you're feeling generous, we'd greatly appreciate the support. We are adding a $900 goal either tomorrow or Wednesday. Like we've got pretty much everything done. We're just trying to finalize like the last couple numbers, make sure everything makes sense, so we're not screwing ourselves and ending up short on money. I'm very, very big on triple confirming numbers when it comes to things like this, because I don't want to accidentally and inadvertently screw ourselves. So again, if you could please check it out, for those that can and are willing to pledge to it, we would greatly appreciate it. It's doing really well. The next goal we're going to have is going to allow us to bring on people on a full-time basis to help out with keeping the site up and running, getting things up on the regular. It's just going to help for a much more streamlined work experience for us on the back end, which in the end just means more content on the regular for you guys, which is always a good thing. And regarding last week's podcast, why it's not up yet, my Adobe Premiere files got all screwed up. Same with Photoshop. I couldn't do anything with it. I tried to render it in Sony Vegas. For some reason, even though I used the same templates I had always used on it, it did not render correctly. The video was like frozen and really choppy. I don't know what happened. The last time I rendered on it, it was perfect. It's snoove luck. It's a thing. I like to call it that. Other than that, Mac, we appreciate you coming on tonight. It's always nice to have new people on, and especially the golden voice here.
It's been lovely. Lovely.
Yeah, we'll get you back on again.
It's gone very quick.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get Dolce in. If we could alternate those two, every 3 weeks, just always have one of those magical voices on here. That'd be a good thing.
You need to keep it in your pants, bro.
Well, I'm sorry. Well, I've got this weird fucking off voice where that's half mass accent, half something else, and it to me it's just it's just nasty. So I appreciate a good voice. Is that weird? Can I make it weird? I'm making it weird.
You used to have hopes and dreams, and then they all died, and now you talk the way you talk. That's what you sound like to me.
Why are you gonna bring up the truth like that?
I'm just saying. I'm just calling that out.
It may or may not be true.
Fucking depressing movie.
Regarding the Game Speak note for next week, we're gonna have Johnny Ethko, John the Engineer from Battlefield Friends, back on. The last time we were on with him, we had a lot of technical difficulties, and the stream ended up shitting itself repeatedly, which sucks. But he'll be back on next week, same time, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and here, Monday night. Be a good thing. I don't know who we have lined up for guests after that, but you know what? If there's someone you guys want to see that we haven't had on yet,
we have Ghosty.
We do have Ghosty. Okay, hang on. I got the schedule. Okay, so next week we got Johnny Ethko, John the Engineer from Battlefield Friends. The week after that we have Digital Ghost, who I believe is still here in the chat somewhere.
He's clan leader.
Been helping. Yep, he's the clan leader for Dawnbreaker Gaming. The guy took that and hit the ground running. He fucking loves that, and he's done a really good job of that. And then the week following that, we have Phil in Crafty Cockney, the Cockney Gamer. All right,
I forgot about that.
Friends, that's gonna be a good game.
God.
I hope they're both fucking hammered for that, because it's just gonna be great.
Don't stop drinking.
We're gonna try and switch things up a little bit, because we've been relying on the community topics a little bit too heavily lately. So we're gonna have to try and change things up just a bit, keep it fresh. Certainly next week with John, Scanner had some good ideas as to how we're gonna approach that. And so hopefully we're going to give you guys a little bit of a different but still highly enjoyable experience. And then after that, like I said, if there's anyone you guys want to see us bring on specifically, tell us. Go ahead. You can hit us up on Twitter. You can even tag the person if you want. You can put it in the forums. That also works. You know what? Jess, what we should do actually in the podcast forum, where there's topics, we should pin at the top podcast guest suggestions.
Okay.
And then people will have an easy-to-find location where they can go ahead and put their suggestions. And that would work out.
You're so smart.
I know I am. Okay, that's going to wrap it up. Thank you guys for sticking around and watching. We greatly appreciate it. Again, Mac, thank you for coming on. We appreciate you being here. Even though, you invited yourself, but it's okay. I'm a gracious host.
Yeah, I did.
You're not
Thank
the only
you.
one, so don't feel bad. All right, guys. Thank you for watching again, and have a wonderful night.
Bye.